Welcome everyone to NXTV. This is our review episode. We're going over NXT, NXT UK, and 205 Live. And as you can see, we had some positive feedback putting my brother on camera. Who knew, huh?
I know, right?
But we decided that we're probably going to keep him on camera for, well, at least until he breaks it. So why don't you go ahead?
Wow, really?
Why don't you go ahead and start us off there, bro?
All right, we're going to start off on NXT. And first off, we had Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan defeating Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher.
What a match, man.
Now, I didn't see this one coming, to be honest with you. We were supposed to have the MSK versus Danny and Oney for the tag team titles this week, but obviously that didn't happen with Wesley's hand being broken. So, Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa got put into this match.
Well, they really stepped up.
Of course, it wasn't a title match because,
right.
you know, why would it be?
Right.
But the way that this match ended with Thatcher obviously getting hurt, obviously hurt his shoulder a little bit, telling the ref that he hurt his shoulder, telling everybody that he hurt his shoulder, but still stepping up and still staying in the match to try to keep Ciampa from having to take on the tag team champions by himself. But then
Imperium steps up on the stage. Thatcher looks scared, confused, angry, whatever it was, but Thatcher was obviously flustered by them being there, and he refused to make the tag. And that's how Danny and Oney go over. Imperium didn't do anything other than what they normally do, which was stand on the ramp. But it was obviously something that Thatcher didn't anticipate, didn't like. We go back to the back after the match is over with, and Thatcher says that they won't let the past be the past. Is this Imperium trying to incite monsters, or is it Imperium really just focusing on Thatcher? We saw last week Alexander Wolf trying to bring the monster back out and Killian Dane, and then this week they're not letting Thatcher's past be the past. I mean, Thatcher, while he was no monster like Killian Dane is, he was obviously, you know, a force to be reckoned with. He was ruthless. And Imperium seems to be wanting to bring these guys back for some reason. Are they wanting them to join Imperium, or are they just tired of all the goody two-shoes around NXT? What is it? I don't know. But, I mean, that's how that match went. It was a great match. I mean, it went for 15, 20 minutes. So, I mean, it was a really good match. But, you know, Ciampa and Thatcher obviously not going over the tag team champions because you don't want the tag team champions losing right before a title defense. So it makes sense.
And then, after that match, then we had Roderick Strong coming out and, you know, calling out Adam Cole, be like, hey, Cole, come on out here. We're going to settle this, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, Cole doesn't show up because...
Why would he?
Right. And then Balor comes out and is like, okay, I know how to get his attention. How about we fight for this next week?
So that not only puts, you know, Adam Cole and Finn Balor in a title match. Now we have, you know, Cole and Balor for the title and Io and Tony for the title next week. So going all out next week. But Roderick seems to be, you know, feeling disrespected. You know, but because Balor is focusing on Cole, and Roderick obviously wants Cole, but Balor's kind of stepping in front of him. So he gets a little upset, and then he lays out Balor just with a shot out of nowhere. And that sets up a match for later on tonight with, you know, Finn Balor and Roderick Strong, which, I mean, once that was announced, I got goosebumps. Because I know how Roderick Strong is in the ring, and I was hoping that we were going to see the old Roddy. Not the Roddy that likes to rely on everybody else in the Undisputed Era, but the Roddy that can and will stand on his own. So, I mean, that was amazing. Then we move into the Way decides that, you know, one-on-one therapy with Austin Theory is not good, so they go to family therapy. And this was just, it was, oh my gosh, it was so funny. And they did it in like 3 or 4 separate segments all through the night. But the ultimate result was Johnny Gargano paid the therapist to really upset Austin against Dexter. Austin was saying that, you know, Dexter is just lonely, he needs family, he needs friends, he needed somebody to talk to, but, you know, we know that Dexter doesn't talk. But Austin was like, he's not a bad guy. Well, eventually it gets to the end where all the rest of the way, by the way, Indy Hartwell, that was great. It was great. She was making all sorts of innuendos all through the night. But it was awesome. But anyway, they all get kicked out. And then Johnny had told the therapist to say that Dexter got on the phone with her. And that, you know, he basically let Austin go because he got tired of Austin. He was annoyed and things like that. And Austin got sad and cried and ran out. But, yeah, what a bunch of idiots. It was great. The next match was Ember Moon versus Aaliyah in a really outstanding match. Aaliyah really brought it.
Yes, she did. She did. So what I thought was funny was when Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart came out on the tank. The look on Robert Stone's face was priceless.
I mean, some PTSD level stuff there. He's all, yeah, you know, it was great. It was great. So, I mean, that was just a little caveat, a little cherry on top to the match. Seeing that every time Robert Stone got close to the tank, it literally scared him. It was, I mean, like it scared the socks off the dude. I'm thinking that next week, Johnny needs to hire that therapist to give Robert Stone a little bit of therapy. It was awesome. It was awesome. Anyway, back to the actual match that was happening inside the ring and not what's happening outside. Ember hits this crazy... this crazy eclipse here. I mean, normally she hits the eclipse and it's stunning. But, I mean, she hits this eclipse and Aaliyah sells it like rock level sells. I mean, yes, it was insane. But she goes over,
flip over and everything.
She goes over Aaliyah there. Ember Moon moving forward with some momentum on her side. Hopefully this turns into maybe a match next week where Shotzi can get some momentum.
Yeah.
And maybe they can eventually, you know, go for those tag titles down the road.
Right. Speaking of those WWE Women's Tag Team titles, let's talk about this travesty.
And what travesty?
Yeah.
What travesty? I don't see it as a travesty.
Nia and Shayna defeated Dakota and Raquel because Adam Pearce had to stick his nose in NXT business. I mean, he brought his own Raw referee. It's almost like it was premeditated. Maybe.
Okay, so it's not a travesty, though, because I feel like Nia and Shayna needed to retain here. I wanted Dakota and Raquel to win because I wanted NXT represented at WrestleMania, as we discussed on Tuesday. But if they were going to lose, it didn't need to be a clean loss. Because Raquel has that momentum, Dakota has that momentum, and that match was too good for it to be a clean loss. Sometimes a match can be so good that if a clean victory is given to the winners, it really ruins the match. In my opinion, if a match is that good, if it's on that level, a clean loss for you know, Dakota and Raquel would have hurt them.
It would have.
Because they went so far and you know, really brought the fight to them. And if they had just lost cleanly, you know, then they would have no way to say, well, we deserve another shot.
Right.
Right? So they bring in Adam Pearce and a Raw referee to call Dakota, you know, as passed out, even though she wasn't the legal woman. And it sets up for a big announcement next week from Regal to hopefully mean that, you know, Dakota and Raquel are going to get another shot, either on Raw or on a pay-per-view. Maybe get added to that match at Fastlane with Sasha and Bianca, or have Sasha and Bianca go at each other to where they can't get on the same page before the 21st, and then insert them. Something like that. Something needs to happen where we're gonna have a rematch at some point.
Right.
Hopefully they get on to WrestleMania, so NXT's represented. There's 2 nights. There's absolutely no reason that NXT shouldn't be on at least one of those nights at WrestleMania.
I'll agree to that. The next thing we have going on is we've got Swerve doing a little backstage segment here where he's talking about Leon Ruff from his studio. Now his studio's nice. I'll give him that.
It's better than ours. Ours is good, but it's better
Ours
than
is pretty good, but his is nicer, and I'll give him that. But why?
Yeah, I mean this really made no sense. It was 2 minutes of him saying what he's been saying for 2 weeks. So okay.
Yeah, Leon's getting all his shots and whatever, and I have to work and claw and scrape. Okay.
And then he says he doesn't care. So obviously you do care. I mean, Jimmy cracked corn and you do care.
Yeah.
So I mean, moving on from that, now we get L.A. Knight comes out to the ring and cuts a promo that puts everybody to shame. Everybody that has ever cut a promo, even Pat McAfee on NXT, was just given their walking papers. No more promos from anybody else other than LA Knight. Which is fine with me. I could listen to LA Knight and talk for 2 hours. I mean, dude is just gold on the mic. He's gold in the ring. I mean, as soon as he has a shirt, I'm getting it. I am here for LA Knight. Just, I mean, great. Great. He talks about how you're not going to like what he does, but he's going to do what he does. And to me, that's just nutshelling, that 5-minute promo. But, I mean, that's basically what it came down to, is LA Knight is here. He's going to take what he wants. He's going to do it how he wants to, and he's going to rule NXT, which to me, give him the crown. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. But, as he walks back, Cameron Grimes and Bronson Reed's match is going to start. Bronson walks out, and LA isn't even out of the ring yet. And then they kind of stare each other down. I mean, you kind of see how this is going to go.
Right.
Right? Cameron Grimes.
There's a bit of a disrespect there.
Yeah.
That LA was given to Bronson. And, well, Bronson was given to LA because Bronson was like, you know what, get out my ring.
Right. Yeah. If you're not going to fight, what are you doing in the ring?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much what it was. And then Cameron Grimes comes out for his match with Bronson. A decent match. I mean,
first off, he tries to buy Bronson off.
Right.
I mean,
right.
Total Ted DiBiase move.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's been trying to be Ted DiBiase, but better for a couple weeks now.
And it's
yeah, it's pretty funny. Pretty funny. I mean, Cameron Grimes even comes out with bedazzled tights like Ted DiBiase used to have, which is funny. Anyway, so we had that match. It was a decent match. I mean, it wasn't great like you would figure from Cameron and Bronson, but LA is what kind of gets involved and causes Bronson to lose. I fully see Bronson versus LA Knight in LA Knight's debut probably next week or the week after.
I agree. Then we have a non-match come up because it was supposed to be Breezango and Everrise, but Legado had something to say about that. They just were like, you know what?
They beat the crap out of all of them.
They beat the crap out of Breezango during their entrance. And then when Everrise was like, hey, y'all, thanks. That was great. Yeah, woo, we're going to be done for the night. And then they try to skedaddle, but Santos comes out and lays them out.
And then he says, you disrespect us, this is what happens to you. Okay, cool, moving on.
Same thing Legado's been doing.
Right. And then Caden Carter is in the back with Mackenzie, and Caden basically says, I've got issues with Zaya. I mean, obviously, Casey Catanzaro is injured. She has a partially torn LCL,
yeah,
I think is what it was. And so she's out for a little while, and Caden says, well, I'm going to destroy Zaya next week. I fully expected that match to happen this week, but
I did too.
It's okay. It kind of gives Caden a chance to get on the mic, which she rarely does, and say things about Zaya and about how she's just basically going to destroy her, which, I mean, come on, let's see it. Let's see it. Then we have the main event of the night. We've kind of drawn on here with NXT, so let's kind of go through this. Basically, Finn Balor goes over Roderick Strong in a insane match. Roderick Strong comes out with new tights, new entrance, new music, which was cool. Strong is standing on his own, which we know he can do. It was an incredible match. Roderick Strong hit some innovative backbreakers. Swinging neck breakers, things like that. Balor, I mean, obviously wasn't going to lose here. Anybody watching knew that he wasn't going to lose here, but he was taken to the limit. It was an incredible match. Balor comes off looking strong. Roddy comes off looking, for lack of a better term, strong. But it was a great match. Anyway, NXT, 4.5 stars. Go back and watch if you haven't watched.
It was a good show.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of good shows, NXT UK this week.
I still haven't caught my breath, and it's 2 days later.
We started the show off on what was easily a 5-star match.
Oh, yeah.
With Ilya Dragunov defeating Sam Gradwell. Now, I would never have picked this particular match to be as good as it was.
Yeah.
I honestly thought Ilya was going to come out, just smack Gradwell around a little bit, win, and walk off.
Yeah. Well, you can't discount Sam Gradwell. He's obviously got the job for a reason, right? Sam Gradwell is a good talent, but he's great on the mic. And he's really good at these insults that us Americans don't understand. But laugh anyway. And basically, he was goading Ilya throughout the whole match. Anytime you've got Dragunov in a match, you're in for a fight. And especially a Dragunov that has that next level that switches in his head now. And so, I mean, he went off. I mean, Gradwell just poked the bear the whole time. And not a pun, considering, you know, Dragunov is Russian and he was poking the bear.
Oh, wow.
But, I mean, he was poking the bear the whole time. And then goes and finally hits that one insult too many. Dragunov beats him down. Gradwell's passed out from the pain, but he wakes up and he's smiling. And that's something that he wanted for some reason. I mean,
and
why?
Then Ilya just, in his crazy, in his rage, he goes and tries to hit a referee, and then was like, wait. I'm sorry. Back up, guys. I'm sorry.
And the ref is like, it's okay. And then he skedaddles.
And then he scoots. Yeah. Next thing we got going on is we've got the Supernova Sessions.
Supernova Sessions.
With Tyler Bate.
Noam Dar was trying so hard to knock the Zen out of Tyler Bate. He was basically making fun of him for being Zen, vegan, saying you can't have these cupcakes that are delicious and things like that. But, oh, I've got this salad for you. You know?
And then just dumps a whole bunch of spinach leaves on top of it.
Right, it was good. It was a chance for us to talk about the match between Tyler Bate and Dave Mastiff next week.
Right.
Which, you know, that should be good.
And then we had Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan going over and defeating Ashton Smith and Oliver Carter. Now, the way that this match ended it seemed a little shady to me because both teams are baby faces.
Right. I wasn't into this match.
They're both good guys. And I think that's why I wasn't so much into this match. But at the end of the match, we had Amir Jordan, who was rolled up by Oliver Carter. You know, we got the 1-2, and then Kenny Williams pulls Carter's leg. That flips the whole pin.
Yeah. And
now Amir Jordan is winning, but Amir had no idea what was going on.
And then it sets up for this match between Williams and Jordan versus Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews.
For next week.
Which, I'm not into that one either. I don't know. I mean, I love NXT UK, and, you know, I'm always saying that this is always great wrestling. And the wrestling was okay in that match. It really was. And there's nothing wrong with the wrestling. I just didn't understand why I was supposed to care.
Right.
You know, and if they've got to make me care somehow. And that match came out of nowhere. There was no build-up whatsoever. They were both baby faces. Why was I not going to be in my phone during that match while I was on?
But speaking of NXT UK making you care.
Ooh, nice segue.
Yeah, thanks. Now we have the NXT UK Women's Championship match between Kaylee Ray and Mako Satomura.
Guys, I had to talk about it on the page. I had to go, I told you so. This match was going to be next level. And oh my God, did it deliver.
Dude.
Did it ever deliver?
We were sitting right next to each other watching this match, and we were showing each other the goosebumps we had.
I mean, Kaylee Ray defeating Mako Satomura. I honestly did not see that coming.
I did.
He kept saying, this is Mako's second match. This is Mako's second match.
It.
Who cares?
I did.
Gail Kim won the women's title on her debut. Santino Marella won the Intercontinental title on his debut.
Yeah, and Paige won the Divas Championship
on her debut. So why are you sitting here saying Mako's going to lose because it's her second match? Bullcrap! It doesn't matter, dude. Mako Satomura is a 27-year veteran, dude. Veteran. The best in the world. Even before the match, you saw Sasha Banks, Rhea Ripley, Toni Storm, all saying, I'm scared of this woman.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks left WWE for 5 to 7 months, or however long it was she was gone, just to go train with Mako Satomura. That tells you something, that the legit boss, who's had an amazing career in WWE, had to take a break to go and train with her.
Yeah.
Mako Satomura could have easily won this match. You were disrespecting her name. Put some respect on her name.
I was not disrespecting Mako Satomura.
She's going to lose. It's her second match.
It's not what I meant. I was saying that Kaylee Ray is just that good.
Oh, she is.
Okay?
She is.
I wasn't saying that Mako was going to lose just because it's her second match. I was saying that Mako was going to lose because Kaylee is that good.
Yes, but Kaylee has fought Mako Satomura before and never beat her.
It was time.
Regardless, talk about the match that went and took NXT UK over the hour mark for the first time in months.
I agree.
Because they were like, I'm not stopping these cameras, and I'm not going to get in the ref's ear and say, hey, we're running out of time. No, BS. Let's let this match go. And that match went. Mako kicked out of not one gory bomb, but 2 gory bombs.
Yeah.
Mako hit the scorpion kick how many times? And I'm talking like this was just wrestling. It was pure wrestling. You saw at the end of that match, both of them had nothing left.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Nothing left. Kaylee could barely bow. I mean, to show the respect that she has for Mako Satomura. Is this the beginning of a face turn for Kaylee Ray? Or is it just Mako Satomura makes even the most heinous heel show respect?
I think there's the latter on that one.
Anyway, great match. If you don't watch any wrestling this week, if you don't watch a full show, skip to the last match of NXT UK this week and learn what women's wrestling is supposed to be.
That's what it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be that.
Okay.
Now let's go into this 205 Live. Where I didn't know what was going to happen on 205 Live, but man, am I a genius.
You didn't know what was going to happen on 205 Live, but we all knew what was going to happen on 205 Live. August Gray versus Arya Daivari. It is gonna always happen. This time we added Jake Atlas and Tony Nese to the match.
Big shocker. Big shocker.
That's happened
Now, the
before.
shocker is that August Gray and Atlas picked up the win. Okay? Normally, Arya Daivari and Tony Nese do something underhanded, get the chains involved, whatever. They picked up the win. Moving on. Now, we didn't have this match advertised. We didn't have any of them advertised. But we had Mansoor and Kurt Stallion.
Man, that was a good match.
Yeah, Mansoor put that undefeated streak on the line against Kurt Stallion, and Kurt Stallion was determined, boy. I mean, he was determined to hand Mansoor his first loss. You can make a name off yourself that way.
I mean, Mansoor is he went into this match, 40-0?
40-0. Now he's 41-0. Because Kurt Stallion couldn't get it done. But it was a good match.
He tried.
It was about 15 minutes of high-flying action. So, 205 Live, always going to be kind of predictable with the matches, but they're always going to deliver.
They're always entertaining.
All right, so real quick, we got 3 questions to answer, and this is going to be our first ones where we're answering together. So we're both going to give answers, but let's try to wrap this up pretty quickly, okay? Lori, who is a constant fan of the page, I see her constantly sharing things. I see her asking questions every week. So thank you, Lori, for asking this question. But she wants to know, why isn't NXT constantly on other pay-per-views? Lori, the quick answer that I can give you is that they should be. They absolutely should be. But if you constantly feature NXT on other pay-per-views, it makes the takeovers a little less special. But NXT is not limited by their brand. So there is absolutely no reason that NXT can't go to another show and wrestle another superstar from the main roster. But they should be. I feel like probably it makes the takeovers a little less special because it basically expands the brand. So I feel like they should at least be on the Big Four, and for the most part, Royal Rumble usually has NXT superstars in the Rumble. NXT last year was represented pretty well because the Royal Rumble winner went and faced Rhea Ripley for that NXT title. But at least the Big Four they should be. Why they weren't represented in Survivor Series last year, I have a feeling it has something to do with the fact that COVID is still a thing, and they didn't want to bring the people that are constantly at the Performance Center into Amway Center at the time. Ashley asks us, what our relationship as brothers is like. Well, he annoys the hell out of me.
And he puts me in headlocks.
Right. No, the real thing is that we've been brought up in a pretty close family. I can't think of a period of time other than when he was at college that we weren't around each other pretty much our whole lives. When he got done with college and I was living on my own, he was living with me. So we've just been close. He's literally my best friend. I can pretty much count on him for anything. He can do the same for me. It's just it's a close relationship. We like a lot of the same things.
We have differing opinions on some, but
yeah. But,
that's when he puts me in a headlock.
We've both been lifelong wrestling fans. I mean, we never miss a show, and we usually watch them together.
Absolutely.
So.
Ashley also asked us what our favorite title design was. And the simple answer on that one is the NXT UK Championship for me.
NXT UK Women's Championship for me.
They're basically the same design with a different color belt.
Yeah, it's just a little smaller and a little cleaner in my opinion.
Right.
But absolutely, NXT UK has the title designs.
They've got gorgeous.
They are
belts.
gorgeous. They are gorgeous. Even the Heritage Cup is a great design. I'm liking the new NXT designs for those belts. The old one with the big X and the NX and the N and the T beside them, I didn't care for that at all. It looked clunky. It looked like a toy. So when they redesigned those, I liked them better. But yeah, as far as title designs go, NXT UK will always be at the top for me.
Absolutely.
I don't see, even if they redesign those, me liking the redesign better than these originals that they had.
Absolutely. So. That's all we got for you this week.
Make sure you catch us back on Tuesday when we go over our preview episode. And until then, remember, we are NXT.
All right, the next thing we got is the Supernova Sessions.
The what? What are you, some kind of Scottish macho man? You're over there like, Supernova Sessions, dude. Dig it?
Snap into a Slim Jim.
This episode not brought to you by Slim Jim.